Alright, time to hop into some games and jam some fatties. Alright, found our opponent right away. It's a pretty decent hand. 4 power is a bit much, but not really in that deck, and healer into Titan and a removal for something that's bigger than Titan is a good starting point. I think I might as well just play the depleted banner, since it won't matter that if Seal produces influence or not, but can even just play it for influence anyway. Let's see, so we are up against Stone Scar, so that's probably burn, some burn form. But he has a slow start, which is great for us, because a fast start can be a bit problematic. And healer on an empty board is definitely a good position to start from in that matchup, so we are not under pressure. And this late Pyronite is far from impressive. And I think actually that... It's kind of close. Oh, probably Titan's just better. I was just thinking like that I could play Owls here and start attacking with Owl. But the point is, like, I probably can do the same with Titan anyway next turn, and Titan hits harder, so it's not really a point. So yeah, I'll just ship here and hold that back, because that's the guy I want him to run his rapid shot or whatever else he has into. Plus he might have an Annihilate for Sandstorm Titan, but not something to kill healer. That's not particularly impressive anymore. Once Big Combrei is allowed to like go aggressive, then the game is pretty much over. Like, I'm at the point now where I'm willing to attack with a Combrei healer, because he probably doesn't have rapid shot, otherwise he would have attacked already, and the versions with rapid shot usually don't run Caleb's favor, and if he gets to attack here for 2, that's whatever. He's almost dead on the backswing, so not particularly impressed by that. I'm just gonna full on attack here, make another Owl rather than deploy a power, because then I can't do anything else, and at this point I just want to play another unit to seal the deal. Yep, that's not gonna be enough. Especially not against this. I mean, don't even need that, but... would have at least torched himself. But yeah. Whoa! I actually clicked end turn for no reason, but yeah. That happens to me occasionally, that I click end turn because I want to click continue in response to his fast spell, but I didn't have to because I don't have a reaction, so it auto passes, and then I end my turn. It happened to me every other time on ladder. It's pretty frustrating. But it didn't hurt us here, so it's whatever. But yeah, something that probably happens to other Magic players out there that are so used to okaying on things the opponent does. Gotta get that out of my system. I think I talked about that in an earlier video already. Clear redraw with 1 power. Clunky stuff. That's a solid hand. At least given that we are playing against a matchup where Harsh Rule is a solid card, then this hand is actually great, because we have 4 power. Scribe should help us find the 5ths by turn 5, for sure, and some Enforcer to not get run over until then. The 5th power here, not perfect, but Harsh Rule should make it so we don't get run over. Let's see what Impulse is on. I think chances are that He's either on Shimmering Combrei or Big Combrei as well. I think I played a Big Combrei mirror with him before, which would make my hand kind of meh. Let's hope he has like a 3-drop into 4-drop hand that I get to hard roll. Sorry about that. Also, depending on how long the games go, I might do less than 3 and 3, because I had games with this deck that took like 20 to 30 minutes per game, especially mirrors. But yeah, it seems like we are not playing a mirror, but he's probably some kind of actually, I think I'll try to wasp it. Some kind of Combrei aggro. I'll take both cards from my wasp happily and leave him with no board to buy some time. Well, yeah, more power because I didn't have enough there yet. And as you can see, one of the spots where we can freely play the depleted power and just pretend to find a way is the old secret pages without any downside. Oh, he doesn't have anything. That's weird. I guess I run my Seraph out here, since I'm not that far away from 8 anymore, and he'll start using some stuff. Maybe I was wrong to play her, and I mean, he can hardly be running harsh rule in that deck, right? I mean, if he runs elite, then Alright, so I think the first thing we want to do here is attack, and then potentially Iron Thorn. Guess he shouldn't be running harsh roll there. Not sure what he's holding. I guess this game should be over now. Unless he actually happens to run Copper Hall Elite, Hammer of Might and harsh roll in the same deck. It would be super weird. And yeah, that's fine. And it allowed us to Seraph a turn earlier than usual. Oh no, actually it didn't. But it got rid of a Vanquish that we have to work through anyway. Oh, nice. Some extra cards. Yeah, that was pretty unexciting. Wonder what his hand was. Probably a bunch of weapons and Vanquishes and power. Weird game. And weird deck. Alright, one more. The games keep going this fast. I'll stick to the 3 and 3. If there's like a long game in the second video, I might cut it short after 2 games. Because I at least want to keep the videos between like 20 and 30 minutes if possible. Oh, R&B. For anyone that doesn't know, this is Oren Beasley, another solid American MTG grinder. Did pretty well on the SCG Open circuit for himself, and is a pretty respectable card player, so we should expect a proper fight. Oh, look who wanted it. And you can also see by his naming that he's like a Magic player, because Magic players tend to just prefer to go by their actual name than some nickname, because, you know, if you succeed in a game, you want to be remembered as like Oren Beasley and not as like some random nickname that's not attached to you. I don't know. That's why I go by Manu S rather than some obscure nickname as well. Just don't like to be referred to as some random nickname. So our hand kind of really requires us to find a way here. Even though I would really want to Desert Marshal. Actually, that was wrong. Should have just marshaled here, I think. Or like marshal on his turn and then find a way on 2. That was not a good choice. Weird. Jiddo hand with Jiddo that has no follow-up on 2. That is weird. But yeah, I'll keep marshal open here. Could have been an argument to be made for playing Dead Sigil and leaving secret pages open, but the chances that I'm not gonna marshal here are very low. Yeah, I guess that card would have been a reason to preemptively silence. My idea was basically to like silence it in combat and block like the guy that he gives charge to get like rid of 2 relevant units rather than random 1/1s. But yeah, this game is not looking too well all of a sudden because he is going wide and we have no good answers. Ooh, that definitely helps. That's pretty good that he played a Vanquish target. But yeah, I definitely should have played that game differently. I think turn 2 marshal and then if we draw an untapped thing, turn 3 pages would have probably been a better line. And only find a way if we have to, basically. Poop. Let's hope he doesn't have rapid shot. If he does, we're probably done. Unless we top deck a harsh rule. No harsh rule. Yeah. That's like the game where you really need harsh rule and potentially also a better early game than we had. Alright, that's the first half of the games, 2-1. See you in a moment with the second half of the games.